today, we are still preoccupied with the need to overcome poverty, hunger, disease, and unemployment at the expense of setting our sights on policies and plans that will increase Africa's competitiveness and relevance in today's rapidly globalizing world. Example has been given many times about Asian countries or Latin American countries who have gained their independence at about the same time as we did, but they are in a visibly different place to where we are now. Your Excellency President Boniai, Professor Tevojere, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect together on our past and embrace the audacity to dream big for our future, there is one striking observation. Where we have seen gains and where there have been losses, there is a common denominator: the quality and culture of governance and attitude at all levels. Leadership and attitude will make or break a nation, and the same applies to our continent. The story of my country, Rwanda, is a case in point. For us, declaration of independence started on the wrong foot, and the nation limped through the next 40 years as a result. We are slightly younger than Benin, having gained independence in 1962. A couple of years before that, hundreds of thousands of Rwandans had been violently expelled from the country and scattered across the region and eventually the world, forced to live as refugees for decades thereafter. But even for those who remained in the country, independence had little meaning. Where the post-colonial leaders should have promoted development and unity, they instead espoused violence, patronage, and divisionism, worsening with successive regimes. This situation culminated in the 1994 genocide. During the last decade and a half, we have strived to turn this around because of the strong conviction that our people deserve better and that no one except ourselves would develop our country. To make the necessary transformation, we have had to implement strategies that are informed by homegrown priorities and broad-based ownership and participation of all citizens, supported by friends and partners from across Africa and beyond. In essence, our national socio-economic transformation project hinges on developing our greatest resources, the Rwandan people. They are our drivers of change and the managers of our production for greater overall prosperity. We are building our politics on the concept of leadership and participation at all levels that respond to people's needs, deliver services, and hard work, rather than focusing on entitlement self-enrichment, and dependency on others. Of course, we are not there yet. The journey is long, but we are confident that this is the right path for us and an experience to share on the critical role of leadership and accountability. Mr. President, Excellencies, brothers and sisters, earlier on I mentioned attitudes and actions that can propel us forward into 50 years of prosperity and sustainable development. Let me elaborate briefly. We need to embrace the fighting spirit of the freedom fighters whose vision and courage we are commemorating today, and have the determination not to be relegated to the sidelines of global development. Currently, Africa risks not meeting the majority, if not all, of the Millennium Development Goals unless we take ownership of this initiative and deploy adequate resources, financial, human, and political, to improve our people's lives. This will require a paradigm shift in the way we prioritize, allocate budgets, and respond to issues such as education, empowerment, and health, particularly that of women and girls, and other groups that historically have been left behind. Second, the issue of ownership and participation extends to our national and regional development processes, particularly concerning aid, trade, and investment, so that we use every available resource to end the cycle of poverty. Additionally, if we encourage greater South-South cooperation and embrace a more continentally unified approach to various issues such as trade, we can advance our development objectives faster. I have learned that here in Benin, you have a proverb that conveys this point eloquently. You say, "Alo vibi so ajaze Africa na yi nuko." I hope I haven't spoiled your language, but which means if all the children of Africa came together, they would be able to save the continent. I think the way I said it is approximately right. Africa must therefore speed up the pace of our regional and sub-regional integration and increase trade and investment between our countries to take advantage of our resources and huge market potential. And finally, while striving to maintain our identity and ownership of our affairs, we should capitalize on the opportunities that globalization offers us. To be able to do this, we need to invest in science and technology, build capacities for adoption and utilization of these technologies in all sectors. That way, we can add value, increase efficiencies, and invest and innovate. This is what progress is all about. For example, as a result of the recent growth and access in ICTs, information and communication technologies, our societies can now be brought closer through various internet social network platforms. And young people in Rwanda and Benin can now learn about and emulate each other's rich culture that they have inherited. To our youth, I say this: the future is in your hands. Do not be part of the problem, but part of the solution. And adopt a can-do attitude. In this way, we can together rejuvenate the pride of our people and our continent. Mr. President, Chairman, Excellencies, fellow Africans, and friends of Africa, all signs show that the next 50 years will provide Africa with unprecedented opportunity to prosper. But it will still require hard work to make it. Hard work and hard choices. We must foster new working relationships and drive our socio-economic progress on the basis of technology, innovation, our rich culture, history, and other things relating to cultural heritage. Alors, de l'avant ensemble, unis, déterminés, et réussir et réaliser la promesse de notre indépendance, une Afrique digne et prospère. Je vous remercie. Je vous remercie pour votre aimable attention. Merci.